Today, I want to talk to you about the Sony G Master 1.4. This is a lens I never really had on my radar until I had the opportunity to try it out. Kind of fell in love with it. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Minute late, seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a don just like the Perrier.
What's your initial
Time when I'm
thought
looking
of
at
the
the
50mm?
on the low,
So
like
far, I love it. I mean, we gotta put it to test to see how it does, how it handles it.
Damn, so you like it so much you just want to shoot with that lens
Why
instead
not,
of
bro?
instead of the other lenses?
It's a very solid lens. I mean, G-Master, bro. We'll throw it on the car mount, see how it is.
Yeah, it's light, so
It's very light, yeah.
it should balance pretty easily.
minute late, seen them down bad, now they
This lens retails for about $1,300, while the 50mm 1.2 retails at $1,900. I don't see a lot of reasons to spend the extra $600. Normally, I don't ever rock a 50mm focal length. When I film, I typically tend to stay on a 14mm, a 35mm, and an 85mm to get my wide, medium, tight shots. When I first put this lens on my camera, I was honestly pretty blown away at the quality that it produces for how small and lightweight it is. Okay, I see you, Sony, I see you. With this lens, it's super sharp even at 1.4 with amazing roll-off and skin tones and contrast. It's giving budget, it's giving high-end, it's giving expensive, but it's not that expensive. Let's get into the specs of the 50mm G Master 1.4. We're gonna start off strong with the build quality. The engineers at Sony really put a lot of thought into the build of this lens. It feels high-end, but it isn't heavy. Back in the day, a lens was deemed better quality if it was heavier, which in 2023, this is not the case. The handling and ergonomics. Packed into this small weather-sealed body is 14 elements in 11 groups. The nano AR coating on the glass is claimed to minimize ghosting and flare, which I think is pretty accurate. On the outside, you'll find an AF/MF switch, the standard GM aperture focus ring, both of which move very nicely and have great tactical feedback when the clicking is turned on, which is nice if you're trying to adjust the iris on the go or you're in a dark environment. It also is declickable, so it's nice to be able to switch back and forth for us video shooters who like to make iris adjustments gradually during a take. You will also find two assignable buttons on the lens, both of which I have set up for focus lock. Having two assignable buttons is really nice when you're rotating the camera from horizontal to vertical and still want to have quick access to those buttons. The weather resistance is great. I feel comfortable using this lens in pretty much any scenario. I've used it on a ton of different scenarios where there's a lot of dust and flour and moisture in the air. It's lighter and more compact to the 50mm 1.2. Even though this lens is lighter, smaller, shorter, it certainly has the quality that you would expect from a G Master series lens. The lightweight build of this lens is a huge plus for me because I shoot mostly on the DJI Ronin 4D, which has a weight limit for lenses that you can use with it because of the small size of the gimbal. But don't get me wrong, you can put lenses up to 2.5 pounds on this camera. All that being said, having a lighter lens to go with this camera will definitely yield better and smoother gimbal footage. Autofocus is something I absolutely fell in love with about this lens. If you have a Sony camera with the native E mount, the dual focus motors pair absolutely amazing with Sony's new AF technology. I haven't had any trouble, pretty much had exceptional results with this lens in terms of autofocusing. It's fast, accurate, and we love it. When I first used this lens with the Ronin 4D, which is when I initially fell in love with it, the autofocus worked amazing. It was like it was staying locked on, and I've always had a little bit of issues with the DJI Ronin LiDAR autofocus system. But once I actually bought my own 50mm 1.4, I'm not gonna lie, it has not worked as well as that first time that I used it. I'm not sure why, but it just felt like it worked better with the model that I was borrowing at the time. During my testing, I found that it is definitely shines on the native Sony body versus the Ronin 4D with the aftermarket E-mount. This lens is extremely versatile, and its lightweight build makes it ideal for gimbal work and any situation where you don't want to carry around a big heavy ass lens. However, I never thought of the 50mm as a versatile focal length, but with that being said, I've actually found this 50mm to be super useful in my kit. Really shines for interviews. I have found that this 50mm pairs very well with an 85mm for the tight shot, and then the 50mm as the wider shot. It's giving like Wes Anderson type of thing if you like have your subject right in the middle. Low light performance is pretty great because it is a 1.4. The 50mm 1.4 offers a very great bang for your buck. You're gonna see that this is a common theme on the gear that I review on this channel because I love a good deal, and I love when that deal provides quality and will give you great results. So if you're into that too, you should subscribe to my channel and maybe consider leaving a thumbs up. Do you think that the extra $600 is worth it getting deducted from your account for the 1.2? If you found any value in this video, please consider subscribing, leave me a thumbs up. It would really help me grow the channel this year. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.